how are you?
Ooh, how are you?
Good.
I have my team with me, the producers and everyone, just recording it while we're talking. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much, firstly, for coming to In the House with Barkha. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm good, just coping with the lockdown and, online schooling with my son, and it's just a different altogether. What about you?
I've just been getting a lot of work done, doing some hobbies, also taking this time to reflect, and a lot of self-care going on as well.
Are you in LA now?
Yeah, I know we have such a big time difference. It's like hard to coordinate.
Usually I'm like passed out by this time, but I'm used to the time difference of recording every night, so it's perfect. Fine, I'm used to it.
Well, you look pretty, and I'm like in quarantine, not wearing any makeup really these days. So much.
I do like before the show, so I feel good because I'm in pajamas.
Yeah.
I'm wearing pajamas underneath. I sleep.
Yeah, I'm pants.
I have been watching all your YouTube video. By the way, I have to tell you, my son loves your music. He's a huge fan of.
Yay!
Actually, he has his own turntable, and what's that app called? Ableton.
Ableton, yeah, that's what I use.
He's got this DJ from Mykonos coming over summer to like teach him how to spin.
Oh, wow!
So
that'll be so fun. I love Mykonos.
Oh my god! I hope like things pick up and we can actually spend summer there.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it will.
How are things in LA? There.
What'd you say?
How are things in LA? Like in terms of lockdown, are you guys stepping out?
Well, they're just now starting to open up a lot of the smaller businesses. They've opened the parks and stuff, which is great to be able to get out into nature. But it's mostly just like hanging out and at friends' houses and stuff right now, and just like small groups of people that you've been around already. And just going outside and just trying to keep sane pretty much. The beaches are now opening up and stuff too. So at least there's like some things to do activity-wise.
Well, that's good. Also movement, at least, and some fresh air that you guys can get.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was on doing my research on you. I found out that you actually graduated with 4.0 GPA.
Yes, I did. I graduated from high school with with a 4.1 something, but I was actually so young when I graduated, and then I went off to college, which I actually thoroughly enjoyed, but definitely not for everyone.
So that's why I was going to ask you, what made you get into the whole world of social media and music? What came first? Can you just drive me through the journey a bit?
Well, I was trying a bunch of different areas in college. I was studying a lot of different things, and I did a year at a fine arts school in Miami, so I was able to explore like my more artistic side. I've always just been someone that's into like theater. When I was younger, I did like musical theater and stuff like that. So when I went to college and I was studying fine arts, it was a cool experience because I was going primarily for acting, but you explore other mediums as well, and music was one of them, as well as dance. So I just been very into music from going to school in Miami. They have such an interesting electronic music scene, so that's kind of what got me into it. And from there, it was a hobby that I would do with my friends, and I was just always a person to like play the music and like at the parties or in the car or anything like that. And it kind of just developed from there, from being a hobby. But I mean, I've always had a love for music, so.
And EDM is what the kind of music you enjoy?
I enjoy all different types of music, but when I'm like going to a festival or parties and things like that, I like that it's high energy, and it's kind of the type of music that I enjoy in that environment primarily. But I definitely dabble in different things, different types.
I loved your set that you had at Coachella. I watched that actually.
Oh, really?
I love festivals, and I was at Tomorrowland last summer. It was really nice.
Oh, wow. I've never been. I wanted to go this year before all these things happened, but maybe next year.
So tell me a little bit about your makeup brand. You have Chantel XO. How did you get into it? Is it only brows?
Well, when I was in college, I just had like an interest in, I still do. I'm such a makeup person. I love skincare and just things that make you feel good about yourself. So whether that's like for me with doing makeup and stuff, I find it was like an artistic experience, just experimenting with different things. And I've always been like that from hair. And like I was always changing my hair when I was younger, and my mom's a hairdresser. So like she would let me experiment. And so that's just kind of been something I've always was into. And when I was younger, I struggled, like I felt so insecure about my eyebrows and stuff. And like everyone had thin eyebrows and I had such thick eyebrows, and I just kind of like felt insecure about them. And as I got older, I started to appreciate them so much more. And so I really like learned all these tips and tricks about how to like tame your eyebrows and do different things to them. So when I was in college, I made like an eyebrow kit, and I made lip kits and just like things that I was interested in and just kind of experimenting. It was also just one of those things I was like, this is my hobby and I want to like go deeper into it. So I did that. It was years ago, but I'm still like thoroughly interested in, especially eyebrows are my most important thing, I feel, just because they frame your face and they really make such a difference. I think they're so important.
Even Indians, they have, because I'm originally Indian, they have like thick eyebrows and good hair. I think it's just one of those genetically blessed kind of features.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the more you have, the more you have to work with, so you can experiment and do different things. And it took me so long to grow them back fully after all of the butchering I did to them when I was younger. But I'm definitely grateful that they grew back.
Thick eyebrow trend, I think, is here to stay for a while at least.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of embracing your natural side more. And I think that that's just something that we've been going towards in the eyebrow department. Especially, it's just one of those things. It's just honestly so much maintenance to have them. I can't imagine. Especially that's one thing. Everyone's been locked up in the houses, not being able to go to like their appointments and this and that. And I'm like so happy that my eyebrows are pretty much very easy, low maintenance. I just like can pluck a few of the hairs, and I'm like, I don't have to like shape them up or anything, because if I did, they would be looking very crazy right now.
No, you look amazing. You look really good. You don't look like someone who's been quarantined at home.
Yeah, I need to put on some. I mean, my hair is struggling right now, but
like, pony clean look. I love it. It looks really good on you. Tell me something a little bit about, you've always been open about plastic surgery, especially the episode that you did with it was breast reduction. If I'm not mistaken.
I did a lift and reduction, yes.
You did a lift? How's that? Can you tell me a little bit about it? Like, were you comfortable always being open, or is it because you wanted to give a positive message through that to your fans?
Well, whenever I was looking into doing it, I looked a lot online and I watched a lot of videos of people's experience, and I felt like that helped me make my decision and be able to know the details of what I wanted to do or what I was getting into. So because of that, I wanted to share my experience as well, because I feel like there's a lot of people that look up to me or whatever, and even if they just have questions or they're just, not exactly sure. And I wanted to have an open platform where people could kind of talk about it. So I was like, here's my experience from start to finish, and here's all the things I learned along the way. So like, if this information can be useful, then I hope it will be. So that's kind of my theory behind it. I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of, and I'm just glad that like everybody that messaged me about it and everyone that was like, thank you so much for this, I had questions about that, or like a lot of people wrote me privately after the video, and I try to answer any questions I could that I hadn't answered in the video. But I just think it's helpful. And like, if I didn't have any videos to watch before I did, I would have no idea like what I was getting into, or know what to ask for and things like that. So it's definitely a learning experience.
What's your opinion on Botox and fillers and doing a facelift or any work to your face?
I think it's to each his own. Whatever makes you feel better. I'm like, you don't realize how much little things affect your mental health. So the things that you can improve your mental health in whatever way, and everybody's different, but I think that you should do that and just, be educated and know that you just need to be cautious and like careful with certain things because things can go wrong and you want to make sure that you know everything going into it and things like that. So I think just whatever everyone wants to do.
You and I have something in common. We read about spirituality and books on that topic, especially you. I don't know if you follow Osho, but you seem to be a fan of his and you've read his books, right? And the documentary. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I really like to explore different people's point of view on life and the way that they see things, because it always opens my eyes to different things. And the way I see it is kind of like, you don't take everything someone says 100% to apply to your life, but there's always bits and pieces of things from everyone. You have something to learn from everyone. So I like to go into experiences with that mindset, and whatever book I'm reading or this or that, just take what I think applies to me specifically. So I think I've read so many of Osho's books years and years before the documentary came out. It was very interesting to see kind of like behind the scenes of that. There's like certain things that I took from those books, and there's certain things that I take from other places, and I kind of just create my own ideas based on all the information that I've taken in. I'm not like one of those people that I see one thing and I'm like, I'm 100%, this is the only thing I believe. I'm very open-minded and fluid with my beliefs and the things that I think. So.
I've actually been to his center, the main ashram in India.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was nice to see them, you know, meditate and dance the way it's just shown in the documentary and described in the book. So it was, yeah, quite enlightening. I'm looking forward to Priyanka Chopra playing Sheila.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I was actually saying that India is one of the places on my bucket list to travel before all this happened. I was like hoping to go
love to take you. The minute things calm down, 100% I'm going to take you to India.
Oh, I would love to go. It's been on my bucket list for a while, so.
Can you give your fans a little bit insight into you? I know your life is so public and everything's out there, but maybe 2 things that they don't know about you?
It's always hard because I'm like, have I already shared this or not? I don't really know. I'm like, if someone has
something, is there anything at all that you haven't shared, or maybe it's a future project?
I'm like, over years, I'm like, I honestly don't know. I feel like I'm so open, but I mean, I'm not really sure.
Okay, why do you feel you are one of the few YouTubers or social media personality who is invited to all the big fashion weeks and the Vanity Fair party and, you know, the important ones, the red carpet events? What is it that you think makes you special?
Well, I just think, number one, I'm a little bit older as far as like, I've been in LA for a while and I've been working and doing different things for so long. But I mean, I just think part of it is my job with DJing and having that music side of my career, and then also doing the YouTube stuff and the social media stuff. I think just marrying those together and how they go hand in hand, you can find like opportunities to like try new things and kind of get your foot in different doors. So I would say that's probably what it is. I'm not like I'm special on everyone's eye. I don't think that way at all. I just definitely like come up with ideas and apply myself as much as possible. And then, you know, I also like to manifest things that I want to get done and put like positive energy behind them. And I definitely think that I see results with that. So
I'm all about it. I mean, if only she could talk, the producer of the show, like she's one of my best friends, and that's all what we talk about all day, mind over matter and the power of manifestation. You know, it's crazy. Yeah. I believe in it. The secret, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I notice even when I start my day off like on the wrong side of the bed and I just kind of have like a grumpy attitude towards things, I see how it affects the domino effect of the rest of my day. So I always try to stop it as soon as I see that it's starting, to be able to kind of like reroute my energy and be like, okay, I'm not gonna let this little thing or that little thing affect the rest of my day and my mood, because like I want to make sure that I'm putting all my positive energy behind the things that I'm working on and thinking about, because it affects not only your mental health but your physical health so much, the way that you think. So I try to remember that, and I am not always so great about it. I have days where I just I'm like, I just can't today, but I try my best. So
is there any positive message you want to give out your fans, because we all are facing super challenging times globally, and that's how I started this series. I wanted everyone out there to know that celebs are normal as well, and they can communicate with their fans and let them know how they're feeling, what they're going through, how you are coping with it.
Well, I think my biggest thing in this that I've kind of learned or realized from this whole situation, just through self-reflection and just spending time with my loved ones and people that are close to me, and just really taking the time out to listen to them and understand what they're going through, and be able to help people whenever I get the opportunity. And just little things, like any little thing, even just like reaching out to someone you haven't talked to in a while, just to see how they're doing. Those little things really, they make a big difference when someone's going through something. So I've just been trying to keep in touch with all of my people and make sure that I reach out to them and check on them. And then also doing charity stuff online. I've been trying to help so much with everything that's been going on, but not only, my fans and everyone, I've been going through DMs and talking to people and trying to help where I can, but also, taking time for myself and self-reflecting and doing self-care so that I can make sure I keep my mental health at a good place so that I can in turn help the people around me. Because if I'm not doing well mentally, then that rubs off on the people around me. And I've just been trying to keep myself grounded and then help everybody around me. So I just think doing the little things you can for others and talking to your loved ones and just making them feel comfortable to speak to you and listen and stuff like that.
Well, that's sweet of you that you've been involved with charities and you're doing your bit, your contribution. And is there any particular charity that's special to you and close to your heart that we can request the fans to donate to?
Well, I actually was thinking about this right before we got on the call, because I was I have noticed how much this whole thing has affected my mental health. And originally I was, doing everything that I could as far as trying to help to make sure that I could help feed as many people, or, some people that would write me that needed money for this and that, which was going on due to the crisis that we're facing. But now I do want to also place some focus on the mental health aspect, because I definitely notice how much of a toll this has taken on my mental health. So I can only imagine. And mental health is just important as physical health, and I think a lot of people forget that. And so I definitely want to, help in the mental health sector. So I actually was going to do some research today to find a mental health charity that I leave their messaging and stuff. So I will let you know what that is. I don't know exactly right now, just because I've been focusing on student.
It is such a deep topic, because every different age group, they cope with it differently and they express their, I think, anxiety differently. Not everyone can talk about it openly.
Yeah, and I feel this whole experience, I've just noticed my anxiety levels have been so much higher than normal, just because there's not much else productive things or things that are fun to distract me from the way that I'm feeling. So I've just been in my head a lot and just kind of just feeling anxious, honestly, about the future and everything going on, but also just having a feeling of anxiety without knowing the basis behind it as well, or just feeling that feeling but not having any thoughts associated with it. So yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's been really helping me a lot is just making sure to do physical activity every day, and just have that, okay, at this time every day I'm gonna do some sort of physical activity, because it creates a structure where nothing else seems controlled around us and everything's uncertain. So if I know this time I'm gonna do this, it's a certain thing. And then I also have been doing just a lot of self-care. I'm okay, every day at this time I'm gonna do this for myself, so I feel better about myself. And so yeah, I would just say making sure to keep active and take care of yourself.
Also, I feel nature's way of telling us to slow down, because we all are always on the run. We're busy with projects, we're always on the plane and stuff like that. So it's nice that when you spend time with yourself, you realize, what am I lacking, what makes me happy, and what do I want to do later on in future.
Yes, exactly. I definitely agree that I had been feeling I was going so fast all the time, doing something 24/7, and it's just not normally how things have been in the past. So it becomes overwhelming at time, and it's just the drastic change from doing so much all the time to literally doing nothing. It wasn't like a gradual downshift at all. It was just like black and white. So I think it's hard to cope with a little bit, but you know, we're all working on it, and we're all going through it. So,
but you know what? It's really, Chantel, it's brave of you to actually admit and accept on air that, you know what, I'm going through anxiety as well. You know, we all went through it cold turkey, from being so busy 24/7 to like being locked down at home, and you know, the uncertainty around us. So I think it's amazing for your fans to see that side of you.
I mean, I would love for anybody that's feeling that feeling as well to have someone to relate to. And I have just noticed, like, I'm overly sensitive recently, and I'm anxious, and like things that would never bother me. And so I have to make a conscious effort to like, no, this would never bother me in the past. I'm not gonna let it bother me now. And that doesn't make it better, but that is just something that I do, and as a thought process, and talk to myself and try to help rationalize it in any way that I can within myself. And everyone's different, but you know, just recognizing like, I feel like this because of this, and you know, I might not always feel like this, I just do right now due to the circumstances. It just gives me a little bit of relief, but you know, it's not a cure or anything like that.
You know what? Well, ultimately, we come alone and we go alone, and we have to spend the maximum time with ourselves. So I think the solitude that we are facing right now with ourselves is important. It has to teach us something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I've always been someone to spend a lot of time to myself, but it's honestly even hard in this situation because it's like a lot of people don't live alone, and then now they are, which is a blessing too, because you don't have to be alone during these times, but it's also harder to spend time alone when you're in a confined space with other people that, you know, you might live with or whatever. So it's just finding that balance. My other two best friends that live with me as well, they went to Abu Dhabi right before all of this happened, and I was like, I've been wanting to go.
So we have to fly to Dubai first, and then India.
I would love to after all of this is over.
Well, Chantel, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, and thank you so much for talking to me. I hope you stay safe, stay home, stay happy, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much, babe. Big kiss.